American politics, what you eat, and how you eat it is a big deal.
Candidates are out in force on the campaign trail, eating and eating and eating.
So big that one little mistake could possibly sink your entire presidential campaign. Well, supposedly.
It was that gaffe with the tamale that cost him the state of Texas. Carter won Texas, and Carter won the presidency. And it may have been a tamale that did it.
Hey, I'm Yara. Ding. Let me explain. American politicians spend a lot of time eating food and talking about food on camera.
Big gay ice cream is the best.
They've been doing it for years.
I do not like broccoli.
And believe me, they eat and drink all the things.
It's a little slice of heaven.
Oh, the thing.
I always used to eat milk bones as a kid. Come here.
But the stakes are high. One wrong move, one food gaffe, and suddenly you're at the center of a storm that could possibly hurt your entire campaign.
The New York Times today has reported Senator Amy Klobuchar eating a salad with a hair comb.
With the comb.
So if public eating is so high risk, why do so many politicians eat in front of the camera? And why do we care so much what they put in their mouths? I took my questions to George Washington University, where I met Laura Brown, a political scientist who's done some serious research on political campaigns.
We are seated before a very historic table.
It was once owned by Abraham Lincoln.
Oh my God. And now it's in your office.
In my office.
It's in your office of
mean,
all the other offices. That's amazing.
Right, the questions.
It seems like campaigns make a point of showing their prime presidential contender eating food on camera,
My goodness.
talking about food.
I love street food, and I think I developed that living in the third world.
What you're trying to do is relate to the many different communities that exist within this country.
So, masala dosa.
The flavor is very nice.
Thank you.
Food is the way that people connect with each other. Candidates are trying to say, I'm in your community, I get you, and I enjoy your traditions with you.
What flavor ice cream you were eating there?
It was American dream. It was.
And it seems like there's this focus on ordinariness.
Particularly in the last 40 years, after Vietnam and after Watergate, insider elite presidents kind of went out the window in favor of these outsiders and people who could claim that they were not part of the Washington experience. Then really what started to matter was not, are you somebody I look up to, but are you like us?
Crafting that non-elite average Joe or average Jane image is a pretty well-coordinated effort these days.
I'm Ted Cruz. I'm Ted Cruz. I'm Ted Cruz. I'm Ted Cruz, and I approve this message.
It's led by a group of campaign staffers known simply as the Advance Team. Advance Team. Advance teams are masters at planning events and staging photo ops. They'll scout out where a candidate will go, what they'll do,
Mom, what do you want? Chili dog, Valerie?
and, of course, what they'll eat.
How's that sandwich? You get that in Ohio?
And they'll make sure journalists are invited.
I bet these reporters would like to.
But there's one food event they'll make sure their candidate absolutely attends.
And it starts right here in Iowa.
The Iowa State Fair.
The reason why the Iowa State Fair is so important is because it's in Iowa. Iowa is the first state to actually go to the polls and do any sort of voting.
All eyes on Iowa.
The first in the nation caucus in the Iowa caucus.
And how you do in the Iowa caucuses could eventually give you the momentum to become your party's nominee.
Because of that, candidates needed a place where they could meet and mingle with other Iowans, and the state fair was just the perfect place for it.
And I'm psyched for the eats, even as a vegan.
There is no more specialty dish at the state fair than whatever it is on a stick. Because if you put it on a stick, you can walk around the fair and eat at the same time.
And it's often fried foods, right?
They'll fry Snickers bars, Oreos. They fry butter and then put it on a stick.
And corn dogs. Lots and lots of corn dogs.
So to be seen with a fried object in your hand at that fair
Yes.
a really big deal.
It is. All of those moments are about trying to say, I'm just like you, and we're all in this together.
But what happens when you eat something the wrong way, and that carefully crafted average Joe image comes crashing down? I'm talking about food gaffes, or food faux pas. Turns out there's someone who wrote her entire PhD dissertation about the role of food and food gaffes in American elections. One of her arguments is that
food is so symbolically rich. It's this like really easy device that you can use to craft this like public sensibility about who you are.
Basically, what you eat can be used by the media or political elites to show how relatable and middle class you are.
We're gonna go get some burgers. One cheeseburger and one fries.
Or how elite and unrelatable you are.
Billionaires in wine caves should not pick the next president.
Gucci wearing, latte drinking,
latte sipping,
Latte liberal.
Does what you eat have an impact at the polls?
I mean, in the everyday grind of running for president, you go to the Iowa State Fair, you host a ton of events in diners. If you're doing it right, you only hear about it in like that place and in that moment in time.
This is all food for thought.
I'm not going to hear about it. You're not going to hear about it. The folks who live there will, but it's not a story, but it sort of fizzles out. When it doesn't fizzle out, however, is when something goes wrong.
With like food gaffes and blunders.
With food gaffes and blunders. And the candidate does something to suggest that he or she is really just sort of like play acting.
Pandering.
Pandering.
As you know, hot dog is my favorite meat.
If it maps onto an existing media narrative of that candidate, it becomes this weirdly sticky story.
Who let the dogs out?
But what are some of the most disastrous examples of food gaffes? I figured I'd run through a few with my interlocutors.
We're gonna play a special game where I show you pictures of American politicians committing food gaffes.
Yep.
And I want you to guess what they are and explain exactly what happened. Ready to go?
Oh boy, let's do it.
Boom, voila.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
this is a very, very famous moment. This is President Gerald Ford campaigning in South Texas.
And something isn't going right.
He attempted to eat a tamale with the corn husk on.
Every newscast in Texas, all they did was show Gerald Ford not knowing how to eat a tamale.
And this was like in 1976 when he was running against Jimmy Carter.
Mike Huckabee famously said that this sunk his presidential effort.
Carter won the presidency, and it may have been a tamale that did it.
I mean, no, one little thing didn't, but it was really sort of about his broader inability to connect with people. Oh, this is close to my heart because I'm from Philadelphia. So this is John Kerry.
Running for president, makes his stop in Philadelphia, and he orders his Philly cheesesteak with Swiss cheese.
The traditional way that you order cheesesteaks in Philadelphia is with whiz, which is like an orange cheese product.
And this caused an outrage.
Yes. Because it seemed to fit with all of the cliches about John Kerry, that he was something of an elitist.
You also don't put lettuce and tomatoes on it.
Despite this incident though, Kerry went on to win Pennsylvania by about 2 points.
This.
John Kasich on the campaign trail eating pizza with a fork and knife.
At Gino's Pizzeria in Queens.
Boy, this is good.
It is a food that 99% of the time you eat with your hands.
I think Bill de Blasio has done that.
Sarah Palin.
Donald Trump.
If you're going to use food to connect with voters, you need to connect with them in the way they eat it.
This is Hillary Clinton running for president in 2016. She's on the Breakfast Club.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, by all accounts, this is a woman who loves hot sauce and who actually does carry hot sauce around in her bag.
I eat a lot of hot peppers. I, for some reason, started doing that in 1992.
But it felt so pandering in the moment because she's on the Breakfast Club.
Listen, I just want you to know, people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to black people.
Okay.
Is it working?
And because like Formation had just come out.
I got hot sauce in my bag, swag.
And what's interesting about these gaffes is that for the people who already have like this vulnerability around their authenticity, the gaffes stick.
As millennials, your voice is important. I, Hillary Clinton, share all of your exact same beliefs, and I always have.
So yeah, as you can see, eating in public can be fraught. But that begs the question, is any form of on-camera eating pandering? If you're eating in Iowa, aren't you pandering to the state's rural white population? If you eat at Sylvia's restaurant in Harlem, New York, are you pandering to the black community? And if you're... let's not go there.
This country is large and contains multitudes, and you're having to appeal to folks all over whose lives and foodways and food cultures are so different and idiosyncratic and distinct. It's part of campaigning. I mean, it's part of just trying to reach out and make a connection with folks. But again, where I really think it flips a switch for people is where it just feels more deeply dishonest than like an earnest effort to make a connection.
I'm learning to say y'all, and I like grits. I got started right this morning with a biscuit and some cheesy grits.
For candidates who want to run for office in the United States, what tips would you have?
I would say don't avoid food, because food is such a core way that we connect as humans.
But there's a second, more important tip.
Don't lie. Avoid those situations where what you're doing is so clearly not a reflection of who you are.
Hot dog is my favorite meat.
Just be yourself.
Just be yourself.
Hold on, this got messed up.
If you're gonna make mistakes, have them be mistakes that are kind of authentic to you.
I did not realize this coconut milk needed to be like stirred up like this.
There are folks who do something wrong that's kind of benign wrong, which is, a John Kerry ordering Swiss cheese. Like, the guy just likes Swiss cheese. And now let's sort of like juxtapose that to the de Blasio situation.
She's talking about the mayor of New York City.
Mayor de Blasio tweeted his favorite bagels are from Bagel Hole in Park Slope, where his order is whole wheat toasted extra cream cheese. The only problem,
We don't toast our bagels?
Bagel Hole doesn't even have a toaster.
And so here in this moment, it's like such a stupid lie, but it reveals that he uses food to try to create a sense of who he is, but that he's sort of willing to lie in the service of accomplishing that. You start to create a sense of uncertainty around your authenticity as someone who is willing to lie for the purpose of getting votes.
I guess a lot of this comes down to the age-old saying, honesty is the best policy. Yeah. But I mean, if you're getting a cheesesteak in Philly, get it with Cheese Whiz. It tastes way better. No tomatoes, no lettuce, maybe mushrooms. Oh, grilled onions, yes.